Hey, it's Rachel Rofe from rachelrofe.com, and I just wanted to tell you where I'm going this weekend, and it is to a face reading workshop. And I am so excited about this. I just love everything that I've been learning about face reading has been so fascinating. And it's amazing like how much information you can get from a face. Not only can you learn like physical ailments and stuff, but you can also learn so much about people's personalities by looking at their face. And oh my gosh, I read a couple books on face reading. The lady that I'm going to see, her name is Jean Hainer, and hers was the first book that I read. It's called Wisdom of Your Face, and in there she talks all about like different face types and what they mean and everything, and it's so interesting, like how accurate she is. And so she talked about how she started face reading because she used to be a feng shui consultant, and she would go and she'd have all these different clients, and she wanted some way to like communicate better with them. And so she got to the point where she could look at someone's face and she would immediately know what she needed to say to them. So for example, if they had like a lot of wood in their face, then she knew to get right to the point. Or if they had a lot of water in their face, she had to be really slow and like flowy and take her time. Or earth people, like she needed to give them a hug first and ask questions about their family and all that kind of thing. So it's really, really interesting. And when I was reading her book, I was just blown away at how like uncannily accurate she was. Like, for example, with Otto, he has a very wood face, and so she was saying like with the woods, like I was saying, they need to be very direct to the point, don't waste any time, they're very active, they like to go go go, they have almost a disgust for like inertia, which was really interesting. I was reading about waters, and Jamie is such a water, my best friend Jamie, and so I was just again like blown away at how accurate it was. And then for me, I have a lot of fire in my face and a lot of metal, and I was just really, really taken aback at one of the stories she talked about with metals in the book, because like my whole life I'm just at one big contradiction. When I'm in my fire, I'm just super outgoing and talkative, and I like to be like, just teaching and out there and being around lots of people. But when I'm in my metal, like I just like to be very introspective. I don't want to like go out or hang out. I just want to read all the time. And she talks about how metals, they really need things to be a very specific way. So for example, she was talking about how there was this like 9 or 10-year-old daughter and a mother who came to see her. Because the mother was getting really upset. The daughter wanted nothing to do with her mother anymore. And the mother had just no idea why this was happening. For example, when the daughter would go to bed at night, she wanted the door a very specific way. Like it had to be just halfway open. And the mother was trying to assert her power, so she would, keep the door open. And the daughter was just getting so upset by it. And she just got to the point where she just, like I said, wanted nothing to do with her mother. And so obviously the mother was upset about this. And so when they came in to see Jean, Jean immediately looked at this daughter's face, and she knew that this daughter was metal. And so metals are very specific. Things need to be a very specific way, or else they're just profoundly bothered. And it just they can't focus on other things. It just can't get out of their mind. And I'm so that way about some things. And it was just like, wow. Like I always thought that I was just being really anal, but when I read the book, it was almost like giving me permission to be who I was. It was like, yeah, this is something that happens to other people besides just you, I think that's a very specific thing, because I know a lot of these meta systems, they give really broad things that can kind of be applied to anybody, but that's a really specific thing that I don't think just everyone deals with. Or for example, like with different things like water, they said that your favorite position if you're water is just lying down. Like a lot of waters, even if they have an office, like most of the time they're going to be on their bed or on a couch with their computer like propped up, because that's just where they're most comfortable. That's not necessarily how I am, but I know water people that's exactly how they are. So it's just really, really cool to learn about different face types and everything, and learn about their personalities that way. So I'm excited to go learn, and I'm excited to go see what I can like figure out from people and stuff. So if you want to kind of know some of the things I learned so far just from the book, like she talks about how your forehead is representative of your 20s, and so the lines across the forehead are pretty much, they represent life lessons. And so if the lines don't connect, then it means that the lesson hasn't been learned, and so it's going to keep coming up until those lessons are learned. Or your nose represents your 40s, so it's said like if you have a bigger nose, you probably have a better, well, not a better 40s, but you're going to have a lot of like good in your 40s. If there's like a bump on your nose, it means you like to be in control. Your nose also represents leadership. And so when people were being groomed to be royalty back in, I think it was China, they would get their noses massaged and like stretched out because it was thought that you couldn't be a good leader unless your nose was big. So there's just, or like if you have a cleft in your chin, it means you like attention. And Otto has a cleft in his chin, and he so loves attention. Like being the center of attention, not just everyone loves attention, but I mean center of attention, limelight kind of attention. Or like every area of your face like represents a different age. And so I've just been getting a lot out of it. So I'm really excited to see what I learn at the workshop. And if you guys want me to post what I've learned, I'll be more than happy to. It's just, I'm excited. It's another meta system, you know? Like I said, I studied a lot of meta systems. I love learning about people. I love learning about communication and everything that I've seen so far. Oh, and I got a reading from her. I got a reading from her a couple months ago, and she was so on point with like what I've learned about Myers-Briggs, Enneagram, human design, wealth dynamics, all those things. And when she did the face reading, she was almost to the, like, she said the same exact stuff with those things, except she was actually maybe a little more precise because those meta systems kind of put you in very like specific, like you're this person and this is exactly what you do, because there's just like with Myers-Briggs, for example, there's 16 different types. So you only, the most specific you can get is a 1/16. But when I talked to Jean, she was like, you have metal in your face, you have fire in your face, you have a little of this, you have a little of this. And so she was able to, like I said before, I'm a total contradiction sometimes. And she was able to point out all the contradictoriness. So it was really, really insightful. And she says you can get like your core messages and everything from your face too, like what you're here to do, your main messages and all that kind of thing. So anyway, I'm excited for it. Wanted to share what was happening for me this weekend. And yeah, I hope you have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.